Hello art lovers, welcome back to live drawing lessons. I am Raul and we continue with the lessons. We are on a lesson number 3 and today we're talking about how to shade objects. But the big title for today is Shading Drawing Challenge. Today we will work with mechanical pencil. I will show you how easy you can shade using mechanical pencil. I have Graph Gear Open 5 lid, HB grade, Faber Castell Open 5 lid 4B grade. And we're working with 8B grade Faber Castell. Of course we're using eraser, so I selected Tombow Mono Zero eraser. So we're learning to highlighting with eraser. Blending stump to blend the outline and all necessary parts for the objects. And you will see how to shade with cotton buds, also small parts of the objects. We learn to shade realistic toy plane. First of all, we need to outline the airplane. So I'm coming now with HB grade, adding the outline. Remember, I always working with professional supplier, and my paper for training is Strathmore Bristol paper, 270 GCM. As you can see, first of all, I'm going light. And I'm coming with a little bit pressure when I'm happy with the shape of the toy. Let's see how we can transform this in a realistic toy, looking like on the table. How to add the shadows, and also we're talking about cast shadow, which is the last one. Learning to draw 3D is not so hard, guys. If you love to draw, you will see how easy you can add some details. And remember, outlining very light, so I selected mechanical pencil, HB grade. We need to add a little bit more details so we can make this interesting piece. We're adding the windows. I'm coming to coloring this part for the window very light using 4B grade. Also with this one we're going to coloring the fans. We fill this 4B grade because they are only black, or I can use 8B grade in this case because as you can see the part of the drawing is a little bit bigger. Change very easy, 8B grade. This is 8B grade Faber Castell 9000. Let's go to shade this plain toy now. So we're starting with HB grade and we shade first layer very light, everything we have here, starting from the tail. Also guys, you will see when you work with mechanical pencil it's a bit different than pencils, normal pencils. But remember guys, even if you draw portraits, even if you want to draw objects, try to build this scale grade close to you, so you will see pencil you need to take, how dark. It will be very helpful. This is the first layer. As you can see I can go longer, but as you can see the pencil is still bent in my palm, almost touching the paper. We shade very light the fans, the engine, and I'm going very light with cotton buds. As I told you, today we're working with cotton buds, blending stump, not too many suppliers. We need to do the best to don't go out with this graphite now. I selected this cute object so you can see when you draw small objects in your portrait, maybe you'll meet something like this to draw. But the important thing is to know where you need to put the shadow. I'm coming on a top side of the plane and very light. I start to build the shadows. Small circles, bend the pencil in your palm and wait to cover this part for the shadow. So the reflected light will be on the bottom of the plane, half tone will be on the top, which is going to the shadow. As you can see, always I'm going very light and I'm looking to draw the shape of the toy, going close with the 3D looking of the object. I'm going a little bit in both sides. If I have shadow here, I will have reflected light in the top of the wing. Same on the back of the wing is shadowed part. In the front of the wing we have reflected light. As you can see I'm going in gradients, slowly building this, making like a 3D looking object. And if you have passions guys, and if you come back here, we will go in close to how to draw eyes, nose, ears, mouth, everything we need for a portrait. But before to learn that, we need to learn the basic. We need to learn about the shadows and lights. Of course, very light I need to add on the fans. If you're looking to make realistic looking, you need to add all necessary shadows, even with small parts of the object. As you can see, again I have shadow here and the reflected light on the bottom of the fan. I'm coming with cotton buds for the first layer of shade, and now slowly when we mix together the gradients, it will become very nice looking 3D object, from shadowed part to lighter. But you will see when we're adding the shadows, on the ground, the cast shadow, it will looking more interesting like a 3D. Stay with me to see how we can do that. I selected small parts of the object, so you will learn, guys, how to work with small objects. As you can see, even if it's a small part, the reflected light on the bottom is still there, because I'm going very light with this cotton bud, and I blend only the shadow. So now I'm going to shade again this part. We need to build this to going darker and darker slowly, and mix together. We need to build a gradient, mix together with the reflected light on the bottom. Remember, guys, in these lessons we're practicing, we're learning about tips, techniques, and how to use the pencils in supply and suppliers in right way. As you've seen in all my portraits, I love to work with small parts, very gentle, focus on details, especially when I draw human and pets portraits. For me the details are very important, so that's why I'm here to show you how to work with details, shadows, lights and highlights. So if I need darker tone for the shadows on a wing, I put here, and if you do this like me, you will see so easy to add the shadows, the necessary shadows who's coming on the ground. Our cast shadow should look like so dark like this outline. I'm not adding now the cast shadow we're doing last time, I just outlining for the necessary details. I can add dark tone on a tail, small part. As you can see, I'm going sharper. From the top I'm coming like a triangle on the bottom. I will explain something very important to know how you can make this. Because we have this tail, we need to put a shadow on the wing, and I will show you how to put this to make the shadow is coming from this wing. I will cut a line on this like a triangle. If I will build this, you will see how very nice looking, because I draw this dark black like a cast shadow. This is my way to draw the cast shadow for the nose on my portraits. So when I draw a nose, I need to add this cast shadow to make the difference between the shadow and the nose. And look at that, now this cast shadow helped me to divide the tail and the wing, because it's very clearly seen this shadow is covering the wing. Good to know. But we need to add more parts of the cast shadow, because the tower of the plane is covering a little bit from the wing. So we're coming with this part for the wing, and we're coloring also in black, but this time we're going in gradients. So I need to start from this line to understand this top line of the cast shadow is the top reflection of the plane. So I'm coming now to blend this soft with 4B grade to build the gradients of the grades going close with the plane. Of course, this is not reason for cotton buds, it's clearly visible you can't do with these cotton buds, that's why I selected blending stump. I'm coming with number 1, always for the small parts. I'm coming to push the graphite inside to build a gradient from dark to light, guys. Curve line here, so I can imitate the shadow for the wagon of the plane. What we're looking to learn, how to shade objects and shading drawing challenge. Try to practice this home, guys, when you have time. You will see it's enjoyable, and also you will achieve more skills by new techniques. You will be very happy with this. I take out more refill than necessary, so when I bend the pencil in my palm like this, so this is the right position for me, you will see how nice and soft you can use and control the pencil. And now, because we have the reflected shadow on the wing from the tail, I need to come in with shadows on the tail of the wagon, very light. And now I'm coming outside, forming the necessary shadows. As you can see, even with 4B grade I can shade light. It's not necessary to take 8B grade. Now I can mix together very light on the bottom of the mirror and on the windows. I need darker this one, so I'm come back again. But this time, if I talk about dark shadows, I change my pencil and I'm going very light with 8B grade Faber Castell 9000. As you can see, very nice, good sharp. And the position of the pencil is same by blend and shade. And I'm moving from the back all this line making darker. But now I need to go only in the middle of this shadow. And one more time, guys, if you have more things on an object to draw, do the same part of the shadow. For example, I have 2 fans here. If I had 4 fans For example, I need to put the shadow on this part, same as this. I can't put this shadow, and on the second fan, if you put shadow on the other side, it will not looking like a 3D object. Now again, I need to come in with blending stump because they are small parts, and only with cotton buds on this one. Be careful, don't shade small parts with tissue, toilet paper, or tissue on the finger. Remember, you will break your drawing because the finger is not small. That's why we have cotton buds and blending stump. So I'm going very light with blending stump for the first time to mix this together and add more graphite on a fan. As you can see, I'm pushing this to the lighter area. It's very clearly visible this is blue red already and this one is not. So this should look like original and this not. So if I blur this again, I'm pushing the graphite from the dark to light. But make sure you work gently when you work with the small objects. You will need to use this technique for small objects even if you draw portraits with clothes with different details on the clothes, and you will see how gentle you need to work with the small part. Now they're blurred, yeah? For this part I'm coming with cotton buds and we're pushing on the bottom of the plane, adding some graphite on a reflected light area. And I carry on to the end of the plane. If it's more easy for you when you blend with cotton buds, you can have 3 or 4 cotton buds close to you and just check one for lighter and one for dark tone. If you like to use that way, it's no problem, you can use. Now the thing is, we need to add dark tone to outside, very light. How to do this? By small circles, we're pushing outside the graphite, adding from dark to lighter area. In this way, we can make a little bit round the wagon of the plane, looking like a 3D. As you can see, my color red of the wing is same as the outline, which is very good for my drawing to looking like a 3D object. One more thing important to know, guys, about this shadow and this shadow is about cast shadow. Where this cast shadow come from? The back one is coming from the tail, who is reflecting on our wing, of course. And this tower of the plane, this shadow is reflecting from this wagon of the plane, the tower. Was from this side, I should draw everything on the other side. Now if you blend, you will see you blur a little bit the graphite, which is very good for the object. We're working with 8B grade, and now the big moment is how to put the shadow. I have the middle part of the wagon. I need to put this small part of the wagon. What I have again, I have a second wing. I need to draw the second wing. Remember, guys, how dark you press with the pencil, the shadow should look like. And we have the tail, which is this, and again another wing, which help us slowly to define the plane. Now we need to draw the shadow for the tower, which is a little bit round, as you can see. We're going to do this round, mixed together with the plane here. The top side as well. Of course, we build the fan again. So we can respect on the ground even the shadow, who's coming like this. And it's making sharper because we have sharper shape on the top of the plane. Now you will see we will be working in layers till I achieve dark tone that I'm looking for, which is cast shadow. We shade everything we draw. I have an advice for you guys, maybe you're struggling with this, so I will make a demonstration on the paper. When you shade shadows, I know a lot of people struggling with this part of shadowing. I will show you what's happened with the pencil. Okay, this is one side you draw because we can't do all side of the paper. You need to go more to add another one. What's happened now if I do this? Look at that horrible shade on the pencils, if you see. Already I have the middle one darker, isn't it? So look at that. If I do this again, let's suppose I need to shade more background. I'm coming again with the same mistake. Look at that. Is it horrible? If my background is looking like this on the portrait, my customer won't buy this. How to make a same color this one? I will show you on the bottom. As I see here, I'm working by layers. So I start to work small, but I'm not going by squares as I did here. Yeah, I'm going by circles and I move around everywhere the pencil. But as you can see, I can do everything and all side of the paper. How big is the background? So look, now is not a problem, yeah? So I think this is very important to know, guys, because I struggled with this before and I wasn't very happy. I was angry what happened with my portrait and my background. Again, if I repeat a layer with the same job, moving the pencil all over the round of the drawing. No lines and everything is perfect color. So I'd like to share with you this tip of drawing, guys. It's very important when you draw backgrounds, because I see a lot of people drawing backgrounds like this, which is no good. Again, if I need to go darker like that, I just repeat the layers. Look at that, what's happened with my background now. Let's suppose this should be a full paper behind the portrait. And again, I can come in till it's very dark, because 8B grade help us to achieve dark tone, repeating the layers. Look. Hopefully you're happy with this tip, guys. So if I need to go darker, I can just carry on with the layers. Take your time, have patience for this, and move all of around this pencil. Look at that. It's already darker, and I can make this darker than this, without making the mistake on the top that I showed you before. So this is not good when you shade the background. Try to do this way to see if nothing happen. If you go by circles, moving the pencil all around of the paper. But remember, just take a proportion not big than this. I take not more than 2 centimeters square, and I'm working like this proportion. When I'm happy with this, I'm going further. So remember, if I want a darker, I'm just move the pencil everywhere. Look at that, how nice is looking this part of the background and that one. But let's suppose you don't know about this. If you have dry brush, mine is like this. Look what's happened if I push the graphite together. I'm going everywhere, so I can rebuild this mistake. Just in case if you do this mistake on your background, try to fix with dry brush, and this will mix together the graphite everywhere when you draw. Look, it's nearly the same with the first one, and your background is looking amazing till the end of the portrait, so no more mistakes. 8B grade and dry brush make everything for the background. Look at that. When I'm happy with the shadows, I'm just coming one more layer, repeating the layers. I can do dark background, which is cast shadow. Hopefully you understand this tip. It's very important because I made this mistake before. I wasn't happy because I had to draw big background and I didn't know what to do. I can come in darker now, so I can add the realistic cast shadow. After I'm adding this dark cast shadow, our plane is looking like a realistic 3D on the table. But remember, we need to draw this small, moving the pencil everywhere. I love to work with AB, and as I told you before, I can draw even one portrait with every necessary details in the portrait with only 8B, because I know how to control this pencil. I'm taking my time when I draw something, as you can see, even for my lessons. I'm not rushing my work, so I can explain everything you need to know. So as you can see, the tail part of the plane make the plane looking 3D realistic. And remember, if you draw cast shadow in blue-red, that means your object should be far away, not really close. If you draw this type of cast shadow, the object should be close to the ground. And you will see when I'm coming with dry brush, the difference will be visible. Look at that, what's happened with the cast shadow. Now if I'm coming with this dry brush, you should know about this dry brush because make miracle on your paper on a dark tone. Remember, for the small parts, don't use this brush. Maybe you will go out and you won't be happy. Can you imagine if it's about a commission, you don't want to do a mistake? So for the small parts, you can add blending stump close to the object draw. When I start to work with this, I dotting my hand so I can start to work. I'm adding a light line on a tail, but if I'm going on a top side, I'm going sharper and I'm losing the same like a pencils. I'm losing some here, but very sharp. I'm adding the extra highlights in the top side, which I dotting here. I'm adding top of the windows, but very light because we're working with jelly pen. This is very sophisticated if you move quick. And the line for the designing the fun. Shadows drawing challenge, so now you know how to draw this, because it will make this looking like a 3D. Thank you very much guys for your time. See you tomorrow with how to draw more objects together. Bye bye, take care.